Welcome to episode 5 of Cold Curry, Soft Cock. I'm currently on the verge of an anxiety attack. I think I might die. But before I pass out, before I die, before I leave this world, there's a very special guest I want to introduce you all to. And that is longtime friend and supporter of the show, Reading Patriot, Louis McNichol. Now, Louis, I have something to ask you now.
Oh, please do. Yes.
You saw a tasty piece of arse in the lift coming up to visit me.
Correct.
Can you describe that interaction? Because that interaction might be the blueprint for young men who are struggling with women, and maybe you and your interaction in that lift can like illuminate what people should do.
Sure. Well, the first thing to say is she was someone who was suffering, I guess. Someone in the same boat as myself.
Right. Why was she suffering?
Just like straight up poverty. I mean, in the same regards as myself.
But she's living in this like kind of swanky apartment building. What the fuck are you on about?
I never got to that point actually with you. I think she was maybe one of the cleaners.
She was one of the cleaners, okay.
Or someone like that. But that's what kind of struck me as someone I could maybe make a sort of resemblance with, or some sort of pivotal cross point with her, because she was not wealthy.
Okay.
And I'm walking in with my fleece that's also from Uniqlo that's only like 27 quid.
27 quid from Uniqlo, fucking hell. Like, you're never going to get pussy in that thing.
Precisely.
No, Christ,
and that's my intentions.
Uniqlo. No one who's ever gone to Uniqlo has ever had pussy.
Correct. Well, I was going to wear that fleece while coming to Hackney Wick because that's how it goes around here, because you're living in the ghetto.
I used to do this thing and it was really bad, so I used to go on Tinder. Every fucking swipe was a fucking match, because I looked good back in the day. I had nice fresh clothes, and I did this horrible thing where I'd have a girl in the morning, a girl in the afternoon, and a girl at night, and I'd fuck each and every one of them and tell them all, whisper sweet nothings into their ears. And then one day, it's really fucking weird. I'm a bit of a Japanophile, and I walked past Uniqlo and I saw a picture of a hentai jumper. It had a kind of pussy dripping in blood. The girl had blue hair, big eyes, and I went in and purchased it. And since that day, my dick shriveled up, and I haven't had pussy since.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, as someone who looks and talks like Andrew Tate, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But maybe it works like that around that sort of thing. I mean, you jump on them vibes, and then suddenly your mind checks. Yeah. Mind checks.
So Louis has a bit of a problem with ATMs. He's got a bit of a big issue with ATMs.
Yeah, it has two outcomes. It's either vagina. Well, it's the ATM itself is vagina, or it's cocaine. One of the two. I mean.
Yeah. Well, the big problem is, Louis, he's got a very oddly shaped penis. It's sort of like an envelope, but it's kind of like an Oyster card. Like his penis is a bit like an Oyster card. And
it gets across town like
one too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there are certain ATMs, especially, Nationwide, NatWest. And Louis, he's been doing things to these ATMs.
Don't go to the Metro Bank.
Don't.
If anyone does a similar thing,
the council has started to install spikes inside the ATM, and it's a bit of a problem. People's cards getting all ripped up. But now, Louis' foreskin, it's shredded to pieces. It looks like the Somme has happened on Louis' foreskin.
It's true. Just you go once and you never go back. It's like if you drop something on your finger, you don't do it again. It's like bear trap videos on Reddit that you don't really want to see.
So I have a bit of an issue. It's not a big issue. But basically, there was this girl who I kind of love. I was kind of in love with her. You could debate this fucking term, love, whatever. Sure. We've become friends. We've been good mates for a couple of years now. And there's this other girl, Mercy Matunga. She was on the podcast. She was dating for a bit. We're now good friends.
Oh, the Kenyan girl.
No, the Kenyan girl. Yeah, the Korean girl. Actually, we don't talk about the Korean girl. Yeah. Okay, sure. And I was saying, I might invite him to this housewarming party because I've just moved to London. And Louis gave me this bullshit about your first love is your one true love. Tell me about that, Louis. What's all that about?
I mean, it's for anyone listening to this podcast where you're a possum or a human or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it really is true. The first love, you can't get it away. It's like genital wart. It stays. It'll be dormant for a piece, but it'll come back. And you need to be careful about it, because you will always compare. And just it'll be a part of that for a long time.
But I don't really agree with that, because for the girl I'm talking about, I have no feelings whatsoever. I mean, maybe I pop out the odd wank, a really distant memory of us having sex. Sure. But it's it's funny because when you have sex with a girl, right? You start wanking over the memory of having sex with them.
It feels bad.
It's kind of in HD for the first few weeks. You got this HD memory, and it's a really good wank. And then years later, it becomes blurred. It becomes like a PS1 game.
It's like you're playing Dreamcast.
And then it just gets even more fucked in like it's just kind of abstract shapes that represent the sex she once had.
So true. Then it's just triangles and circles and like melons that don't even make sense. Did that even happen? I can't even remember if that happened, but I'm going to pretend it happened because I'm halfway through a rank and stuff. So you'd use that on.
So actually, my long-time friend support of the show, Connor Peters, he's got a bit of he's got some tips and techniques for dating. And
big up CP.
I really wanna go through these with you because you're a man who knows a thing or two about
Shouldn't have said big up CP.
Yeah, big up CP. Yeah. So 3 rules. Okay. Number 1 is always sit beside them and never sit opposite them.
Correct.
Why?
I mean, we done that in the pub today.
We did, yeah.
Sit opposite each other. But if you're sitting opposite each other, then you're instantly in between their legs.
Yeah, I had this funny story, right? So I was dating this girl. I met, basically, she was this really hot girl. She came to the Japanese meetup. She was Chinese, but spent like 20 years in Japan.
Sure.
And she was super hot.
That's a great fusion.
Yeah, good fusion, yeah. And I saw that she was using Bumble, and then I got a bit drunk and we went for a meal.
Is that a butt plug sort of thing, or?
No, like the app Bumble.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I was like, so you're on Bumble? And she's like, yeah. And so I said, so you're looking? And she was like, yeah. And I said, well, I'm on Bumble and I'm looking, so why don't we just go for a date?
Wow.
And she said,
you bypassed Bumble?
I bypassed Bumble. I bypassed Bumble. Yeah. Crazy stuff. I
bet Bumble are pissed off.
Bumble are pissed off of that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I really hoped her pictures looked pretty hot on there. Like they like a crack a few.
So wait, did you see her prior to Bumble?
I saw
prior to this meetup, sorry.
No, I met her at the meetups. I didn't know her. I met her through the
Oh, interesting. Did you go to the toilet and then look at a Bumble and then be like, oh shit?
No, I didn't. I couldn't find her on Bumble. I was swiping. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Bumblebee fished. Anyway, so I invited her out on the date to this Japanese restaurant, as you do.
Yeah.
We got there, and there was this seat against the wall. It's like you've got a bench against the wall, and then opposite the bench is like a chair.
Okay.
And I just automatically sat on the bench. And she was literally, she didn't sit down. She was like looking at me. She's like intensely looking at me. And she was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, well, I'm just sitting down. She's like, you're on the bench. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you always offer the bench to the lady.
Oh.
And I was like, do I? She's like, in Japan, you always offer the bench to the lady. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I lived there for 2 years and I don't fucking remember this. Yeah. But then maybe there were no benches in Japan. It was all fucking cushions. It was tatami. There were no benches. it was fucking
knees
tatami.
On floor and
it was knees on floor and get the fuck down. Yeah.
So wait, let me write that down in my phone quickly. Right. So if you're with the girl, make sure she's on the bench and you have to sit. Was she expecting you to then sit on the opposite chair or also on the bench?
No, I was sitting I had to sit on the opposite chair. Like she got the bench because we're sitting opposite each other, right?
In case she needed to like spread her arms.
She needed like that slightly better. I don't know, slightly more. There's like a cushiony. Is it more cushiony?
It sounds like she wanted to sit opposite you. But she didn't want to sit on a singular chair.
She didn't want to sit on a singular
chair. She didn't want to be in an interview she was going through some sort of...
She was like super hot though, so we went on a few dates, and on the third, we were supposed to go back to mine, and I had like an insomniac episode, so I was on like 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep.
Okay.
But my brain was kind of melting, and like we were supposed to cook at mine, but when she came to meet me,
girls like that, I think.
They like 2 hours sleep.
Like melted brain.
They do love that melted brain.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't manipulate like my fucking door handle to get out, let alone my fucking girl. Yeah. But anyway, we were going to cook some food, but then she was like, no, I don't want to cook food unless I get takeaway. And I was like, sure. And then I was like, okay, let's go back to mine. It's either a half-hour walk or I'll just pay for a taxi. She goes, no, take the bus. And then we waited 20 minutes for the bus. It didn't come because I knew the buses were shit.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, we're going to get a taxi. And we're in the taxi. She goes, I want a pizza from this place. And I kind of like tried to call up the place and like, no, we don't do takeaways. Wow. I said, oh, they don't do takeaways. And she threw a massive pissy fit in the car. She was like, like she kind of like turned away from me looking all sullen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she was just... I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she's just like, oh no, I want a pizza from this place. And I'm like, well, it's too late because we're going.
This was your first date, was it?
That was a third date by this point.
Yeah. So that's just the entourage of what's going to happen next. That's the first.
Yeah. So we go back to my place, and we're lying in the bed, and she's looking pretty good. And just for context, did she still want like pizza or chicken wings? We ended up getting some other pizza and whatever. It's fine. I got some cocktail stuff to make White Russians, so we drank that.
What pizza was it?
I have no fucking idea, mate.
That's probably important. Yeah. You got her in bed, so just so we all know.
Fuck knows what the pizza was. She picked the pizza. I let her pick the pizza. I didn't give a fuck about it.
She'll probably steal her phone and find out. But anyway, Karen.
Yeah. Just for context, so this girl said that she always slept with guys on the first date, but she was meeting the wrong guy. So now she's not having sex until she knows the guy likes her.
# red flag.
Yeah. But she was going to like seminars called Get the Guy, like some weird seminars in London where like women learn how to like find the right man. It was kind of bizarre.
Well, that's for the second podcast, but sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we were lying in bed and we watched like that not Blackadder, fucking
Black
Mirror.
It wasn't Rumbling
It was
Hearts,
Bandersnatch. No, it wasn't fucking Rumbling Hearts. It was Bandersnatch. And like she didn't understand that. You know what Bandersnatch is about?
watched that.
About like free will and like determinism or whatever. And she didn't understand any of it. I mean, I put the subtitles in Japanese for her, but she didn't like understand the concept of free will or determinism. So I was a bit like, okay. And then she wanted to watch some like weird trashy Spanish show. I don't know, and it was kind of rubbish.
I know that one.
But then I was like, fuck it, let's make a move. And she was, and I turned to her, and on her phone, like she was Google Mapsing how to get back to Swindon, and we were in Oxford, and it was like 11, and I was like, Jesus. And then I tried to kiss her, and she's like, no, like, I need to wait. And then she's like, eventually she conceded for some fucking weird reason. So the phrase waku waku in Japanese means like I'm excited, like it's a bit gimp to say, but suddenly I started kissing her, I went waku waku, and she goes, no, stop, like no Japanese in the bedroom, like I can't have Japanese in the bedroom.
Why is that?
I have no idea, just no Japanese in the bedroom. She didn't like the way I spoke it, but she also wanted no Japanese.
You're a Japanesist. Yeah, you're a Japanesophile. So surely
I kept like, so there's like written language and spoken language, and I kept like speaking like I was writing. And she kept getting annoyed at that. I don't know, just some stupid thing.
Well, that's
yeah. But anyway, we started kissing or whatever, and then she still like insisted on leaving. We didn't have sex.
Sure.
And that was basically, she stood me up on the next one. That was the end of her. But yeah, that was, so always sit beside, not opposite. That's the
I guess that's the main one. Yeah. The last time I sat opposite a girl from, let me get this right this first time. She was from Taiwan, not China.
Yeah.
And if you're ever going out with an Asian girl, don't mix up China and Taiwan.
Don't do that.
Because she's not from China. And
that's the last thing you want to do. Yeah. So rule number 2 is manspread.
Manspread.
Do you agree with that, Louis?
Well, it's better than peanut butter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Manspread's pretty good, but Vegemite's better.
But like, should you like spread your legs on a date? Show your load. Because
what should she do?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Keep them fucking zip tied together. Like you've already put the zip ties there.
A bit of a crossover, like leg, flashing bit of leg. I don't know.
I mean, the manspread is an important thing if you're prepared.
Connor says it makes you relaxed, to sort of like you're more.
Connor does dementia pills, so I don't know. But yes.
No, don't talk. No, the dementia pills. You're gonna edit that. No.
Edit that out.
Edit that out. No dementia pill chat. Allow the dementia pills now.
Yeah, the reason Connor spreads is because Connor's got genital warts and he wants to kind of expose more aeration to them and get them going.
Okay. Well, he's got more logic to his madness than that. And the third one is, he says, like when you're dating, so let's say you match a girl, before you go on the first date with her, if you like have a picture of her, you should wank over her, because it gets you like, it changes your perception of her.
Oh, of course. Yeah, even if you're going out with this girl and her bio is really great, scriptedly well, but even though the picture of like a gutter in Peckham, still wank over it, because you might meet her and she'll be great, but she's just too worried to use her face and stuff. Exactly. You need to get the stuff going. It's like, oh, what you do medication at CLU. Oh, cool. That's great. Yeah, stuff like that. You need to prep yourself. But I think it's also putting kind of a wank curse on yourself in a weird way.
Why? What's a wank curse?
A wank curse is basically when if you wank over a girl, even if you weren't really about that girl, but if you're in some weird horny mood, you're just I remember that ginger chick that I really liked, but you didn't really like her, but you're just in some weird horny mood. It puts you on a wank curse.
Right, wank
because
curse.
As soon as you have a wank over a certain girl, whether it be even the Queen, for fuck's sake, if you're locked in a room.
Well, like Jeremy from Peep Show.
Precisely. You can.
I've never done that.
No, neither have I. It was obviously for comedic value, but if you wank over someone you don't really actually have any attraction to, and you wank and then actually go the full mile and start treading in, then basically you'll be wankers.
Well, it's funny because I hadn't really had sex in about 2 years, and then I started employing Connor's tactics, and I had sex multiple times in a few months.
Interesting.
Multiple girls. So it does work. It really
Connor's
does.
Tactics. Was that getting genital warts? Was it?
No, it wasn't getting genital warts.
Okay.
It's a free. I've explained. It's sit beside.
Is it a pyramid scheme? It sounds like a pyramid.
No, it's not a pyramid scheme, bro.
Right.
Connor is the guy. Like he's the man to go for.
Touche.
For advice. We need to get him on the pod. He'll sort us out.
Get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you ever there's a lot of men struggling out there. Struggling to find love, but struggling to find themselves, trying to define themselves as men in the modern world.
So let me ask you this question quickly. Mm-hmm. You've just very recently moved to London.
Yeah.
Okay. How easy do you think it would be for someone who is struggling? Put yourself out of the picture, for example.
Yeah.
Say you were the person we were talking about earlier who was a virgin and he was, you know, in the point where he hadn't had sex yet and was looking for, would it be easier for him to be in the really crazy populated place like London?
Yeah.
Or a small village in Farnham?
Okay, no, the small village is fucked. The small village is fucked, but maybe the in-between is
true.
better.
But like, all right, so in Tokyo, for example, there's a big thing of loneliness.
Oh, no. In Tokyo, no. Dude, if you're a white guy in Tokyo, like...
I have a strange thing, because I've always thought about this. I think if I was in a village with 12 families and there was, you know, probably only very much 2 girls who were adequate and of age to have sex with, and I was one of the other 3 guys I think, you know, your numbers are so low.
3 to 2, you're fucked, mate. Like, you've got a good chance, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting any pussy, man.
Exactly, you go to the beach and it's only her there. And you go to the bar and it's only her there. And you go to the post office and you're feeling kind of like, kind of cute. You go to the library and it's only her there, or the farmer's market and it's only her there. The numbers are so
you go
low.
to sleep at night and in your dreams it's only her there.
But I go to London Borough Market and it's a fucking sea of real good looking girls and I'm like, well, you know, this is really hard, and also arguably probably good looking men.
But the problem, but that's a problem. Like, you're in London, you've got these red trousered bankers.
Precisely.
They've come straight out of Cambridge and Oxford. They've got their nice quiffed up hair and their jawlines you can cut fucking paper on.
That's it.
These guys are just jostling you out of the way, man. They're jostling you straight out of the way.
There should be an app for village girls where there's only one village girl and she's the hot one, and it's called like Only Villagers or something like that, and then I can move to the village that she's in. Because I have coin.
You're like swiping through villages.
I'm swiping through villages.
So it's like
not people, villages, and then also it's like a picture of like the village and her in like a small circle in the top corner. And so I can be like, oh, that looks like a nice village and she's cute. Oh, that looks like a kind of shit village, but she's really cute. And then I can like, you know, get a 50.
So you can like swipe through Oxfordshire, swipe through Berkshire, find your girl. And then, are you going to swipe through Sonning Common? Yeah.
I mean, Sonning Common's a kind of weird place.
Okay, would you right or left swipe on Sonning Common?
If they've got a good cocaine dealer.
I don't think they do. I think they've got somebody who sells a bit of fucking dandruff somewhere. Maybe not actual cocaine, I'm afraid.
I'd swipe right on Bagshot.
What the fuck is Bagshot?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See? Got some cute girls. Okay. They're all ginger and like farmers' daughters, but they're like strong, wheat-fed.
Yeah, right. Wheat-fed, nice, that's good. But do you have any final words of wisdom before we end the podcast? These struggling men out there, you know, they can't get any pussy. Sure. They shut, you know, they're on fucking incel forums writing shit about women.
Yeah,
you know, they believe in this kind of Chad virgin dichotomy. Yeah. Their brain's been poisoned by 4chan memes. And what do you say to them? Like, how do you get them out of this pit that they're in?
I'm going to try it soon myself. So stop showering.
Stop showering,
wear whatever clothes you want, and don't wash them either.
Right.
And just go out on the streets, because girls appreciate confidence.
They do. So basically, you just have to stop giving a fuck.
Precisely.
Like, look
respect that.
Look like kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know? Just look a bit shit.
If you walk down Oxford Road and you're looking like a piece of shit, but not homeless shit.
Yeah, not homeless shit, just kind of shit.
Just like, I'm doing my own thing. I've still got my like, you know, £300 headphones on my iPhone. I'm not homeless clearly, but like, I don't.
You just don't give a fuck.
You just don't give a fuck, man. Look at
just smelling like shit. Your shoes are falling apart.
It happened in Western movies.
You're wearing like fucking school shoes from like 2007.
Yeah, precisely. And you know, your dick might be like your ball bag might be showing a bit because you've got some weird hole in it. Yeah. And you know, maybe we're drinking a Holston Pills bottle and stuff like that. So you know, that my point is the bottom line of this whole thing. The conclusion is confidence is key. So just do what the fuck you want. Maybe don't look in the mirror for like 6 weeks and just fucking do what you want. Let your eyebrows grow out. Let your ear hair grow out.
Yeah, ear hair.
Rep it.
Yeah, just fucking rep it.
Because if I saw a girl who was walking down the street, who was in ragged clothes, but you could tell she was kind of cute and gave a shit about herself. And I do give a shit about myself, but I don't really have to like show you boys what I'm doing.
Well, there we go.
Doing my own thing. Yeah. I think in the long term, she's the kind of girl I want to see.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So there we go. There's your advice.
Started out kind of a joke, but actually it's kind of got some.
Yeah, it does actually have some solid truth to it. Like, I actually have a friend called Jay, you know, and he doesn't do too bad for himself, but he just has one pair of like really shit shoes. He doesn't give a shit about shoes, and a lot of women are like, shoes, I have nice shoes, I'm judging man by shoes. But Jay's just like, nah. Like, if they don't like the shoes, if they don't like the shitty school shoes that are falling apart, like fuck them.
This is how I am. This is the package. Take me as I am, and if not, then everything else is like because. Yeah.